how do we make tables accessible on all devices? Whew, well, kind of two questions there. One is with tables. So it's kind of implied that you're asking about mobile, I think, and that is almost separate from how you make tables accessible. There's a little bit of an overlap. So what I would do, firstly, there are some occasions where you really do need a table, right? So if you're just doing a bulleted list, please don't use a table. But if you're doing like structured data, like let's say name of someone and I don't know, their age and address and email and something like that, maybe that would be relevant. Or coronavirus, sorry, it's all coronavirus right now. Coronavirus statistics on, let's say, cases and deaths and so on. That kind of information makes sense as a table. If you're doing that, you need to be semantically correct, which means you're using things to identify the headings for the tables correctly and link them to the rows. That is just a kind of a core compliance requirement. We test for that. It's pretty straightforward. You can Google for it. I can send you a link, but it's well defined. A lot of CMSs won't do it properly. Just check, but it does depend on your system. And then the other thing is, if you're trying to make them accessible on mobile, that gets tricky. So horizontal scrolling is generally out. There can be some very rare allowances for that, but you want to try and avoid it. There are some tricks you can do with CSS that will take a table and will format it into a sequence. So for example, you can take a HTML table and have it broken down into like a long set of, say, grouped bullet points. That can be done. And there are plugins that will do that. And there are fairly standard tutorials you'll find again on the web for how to make a straightforward HTML table work on, say, a mobile browser.